All right. What's good? What's Gucci? Welcome back to the channel. It is Uncle Makara, all relations. Let's get started today. Today's topic is very, very crucial. And I believe I'm talking to all young men when I say this because this is a really deep topic and I want to connect it back to my own life. Okay. As I was a young man growing up, what do guys want? They want the attention of women, they want friends, they want achievements, they want to gain popularity. There's a lot of ego construction going on growing up, right? So there's a lot of formulating your identity. And as I stepped into the world of acting, it actually helped me to confront my identity crisis, where I was losing my sense of self. I didn't really know who I was. I was experimenting with everything. And then I started to understand slowly that, wait a second, there's something greater here, right? I remember one of the first moments when I was performing on stage and I forgot my lines. That's when my improvisational skills kicked in. At the moment, it was a coping mechanism, but later on, I started to realize, wait a second, this is actually there to help me. Okay. This self-awareness is a tool, is a key, and is not this terrifying thing that I was experiencing then. Because I was going through a lot of anxiety. And growing up, I was also at one point, I think, prescribed um, Xanax, though I didn't continue it because I knew subconsciously, I knew that I had to rewire this myself, right? I mean, medication, they can stop the symptoms or they zoom into, suppressing the sickness. However, doesn't really get to the root cause, a lot of times. So what I see with a lot of my own students, clients, patients, whatever you want to call yourself, coaches, right? People that I train, people that I heal. A lot of young men, they seek external solutions for internal changes and challenges. Okay. So let's say you're battling like a self-image issue. They're just like, go to the gym. That'll solve it. Okay. Neglecting introspection, mindfulness, deep understanding, and these kinds of topics. Why? Because they're not cool enough, right? Lil Yachty's not talking about it. Okay. I didn't hear it on that Prince interview, so it doesn't matter. Leaving addiction to devices, superficial pleasures, depleting your fucking dopamine levels, leaving you unable to experience meaningful love and satisfaction with women, which is actually the cause of the exhaustion you put your system through thinking it can handle it. Your reliance on texting and screens causes your social skills to be fucked up, and it contributes to heightening your social anxiety because you're just, the more you do that, the more you're stopping yourself. It's an inability to form actual deeper connections. And I realize this now. I'm 30 years old, right? I'm going to be 31 in a couple of days, maybe 26th, right? So that's Saturday, this weekend. And I'm heading to Thailand today. Okay. This is where I grew up in high school. So it's going to be a very interesting experience as I start to explore that, right? Because that's me taking a back to memory lane on my high school friends, perhaps. Maybe I'll see a few of them. Of course, everybody's all grown up, busy nowadays, but it'd be cool to meet up with some of them and understanding that deeper connections are needed, right? We can just post a status on social media and get a bunch of likes on it, but that doesn't equip us with the emotional tools to be able to handle shit, right, in the real world. So simply venting becomes a very fragile kind of, it's a very effeminate trait too, right? Just being able to vent emotions without even processing them, right? Just talking for the sake of expression, but not really getting to any kind of a solution. And the male mind wants to fix it, wants a solution, wants to create the boundaries, wants to categorize it and classify it. She's just venting to vent. You know what I'm saying? And nobody teaches us this stuff. So you grow up in this weird schooling system saying you have to learn math and science, right? And geometry and, geography and humanities, whatever that is. Okay. Are we studying humans? Building emotional intelligence and self-awareness to replace your quick fixes with meaningful interchange is the solution. Okay. Let me say that again. Your EQ levels, your emotional quotient, emotional intelligence, including your SQ, your spiritual intelligence, is going to replace that quick fix mentality into meaningful, extended interchange. Okay. So you're developing real world skills by stepping away from over reliance on technology to help you to just foster connection, man. That's what I realized. We're just connecting with another person. And here I am studying body language, trying to get to the, nth degree of somebody's soul. It's like really, it's just moving beyond treating the negative emotions as these you know, solutions rather than, cultivating fulfillment and purpose through your own tools that work for you, right? You can use neuroscience-based tools, you can use spiritual tools, you can use a combination of all of it. From my Vega side of my star system, they teach me a lot of this biohacking stuff, and I'm fascinated with it. What's good, Mathers? I see you. All right. So I'm speaking to a lot of young men here when I say that you have an issue with appearing cool enough. So this is why you're trying to get the latest Yeezys, the latest clout, the latest trends. You're trend hopping and you're just trying to fit in. You're just trying to find a tribe, a home. You just want to belong, man. But everywhere you look, there's nobody like you. And so you feel isolated, right? You feel lonely. You feel alone, like nobody understands me. You feel misunderstood. But let me tell you, little player, little soldier, let me tell you, that's not the way that it has to be. Okay? It's the way that you choose it to be. You have to take responsibility now. You have to understand that as you grow older, you will start to refine your character, right? You have to lose certain immature parts of you so that they can fully mature into your evolved version. Yo, if this was Pokemon, would you want to stay at Pikachu or would you want to go to Raichu and beyond, right? The astral 10th dimensional Raichu, right? So it's like we're playing at a different league and a different level. So don't compare yourself to these Samaritans, okay? Don't compare yourself to ordinary citizens. You're not. And you don't have to be either, okay? But what I am telling you is understand this world, this game, these people, who they are, what everything here is meant to teach you. Because this is life school, mofo, right? And you're here right now. Make sure you're 18 and older, by the way, if you continue watching, because I bring up some R-rated themes at times. It is what it is. And I don't want kids to be easily, brainwashed or by just, seeing an adult, oh, he has mug beads on, he must be a professional authority, and then you listen to me and then you don't read the disclaimer. Okay. So I want to be very cautious when I say this, but you want to find the most aligned version of your truth. Okay. So right now, you're being fed a bunch of lies, right? You're being fed a bunch of lies. Let's be honest. And don't you want to know like what's actually mentally raping you, right? Don't you really want to know that there's actually an agenda against masculinity? They want to make you soft. They want to make you docile. They want to make you timid so that you can't make decisions, so you can't be a leader, so you can't go for what you want and be who you are at your most unapologetic self. They don't want you to win, man. Okay, who's they? The greater at large. Okay, whatever we want to call that, right? Let's not draw specifics like that, right? The elites, the Illuminati, let's not draw specifics like that. There is a they. A they is anything that is outside of your realm of understanding. Okay. It is antithesis you, antithesis, right? It is antithesis you. It is the concept of you flipped in reverse. It is your shadow showing up in another person. Okay. So listen, man, you're here out like chasing girls, having fun, loving life. Maybe you're just hating life and you're like, fuck this homework. I don't want to do this anymore. However, you're experiencing your youth right now, growing up, growing older. I want you to try that 1 second, guys. All right. So yeah, this is the solution, guys. Okay. Internal work, reconnecting socially, balancing your mental health. If you do these three things, I promise you, you will move beyond these negative emotions that you're experiencing right now. Okay. Once again, internal work, reconnecting socially, harmonizing a very positive inner health. If you do these three things, I promise you, you will start to improve and you will start seeing yourself as the young savage shaman. If your mental health is very fragmented, meaning that you've created all these different personas and identities for yourself, but they don't have a place to move. They don't have an outer shell where they belong, where there's safety, right? So like the people pleaser side of you and the bad boy side of you, maybe they're playing tug of war with each other, not even understanding that they can benefit from their greatest strengths. You guys see this? Are you resonating? Okay. So share this with a flowmate as well, right? Share this with a homie because you will understand that once you step into the dojo of figuring out who you are, who am I, right? It's the greatest question. Who am I as a man? How do I fit in? Yeah, Method says we got the frame. Let's step into it. May the frame be with you. All right. I think there was a group like that, right? There's like a Facebook group like that. May the frame be with you because that's true, right? Your frame tells you what your results are going to be. You guys see that? Like the perception that you create will give you the experience. It will generate the experience of what you set out in your mind. And it won't give you exactly that, obviously, but it's very interesting to notice, that flip. Mathis says inner child craves balance. If not gained authentically via freedom of expression, you tend to coping mechanisms. Yep. Oh, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, the inner child needs to be heard, needs to be seen, needs to be validated, actually, internally validated. So, but what a lot of young men do, right, is they go for the external gratification, thinking that that will solve the self-image issue. If I work enough on myself, maybe they will like me, right? And it's starting off from a wrong frame already. So you have to get your mind malleable enough where it adjusts itself to perhaps newer ways of thinking, right? Newer ideas. Because as you grow older, your brain starts to, like I said, refine. It starts to become more stubborn in its patterns, right? And the inner child wants something, but if we just send it to the detention or the basement, I mean, I'm using this as a metaphor, right? If we lock that part of us up, it starts to cause resistance and suppression internally, which then shows up as these different habits that we're doing, right? And showing up. It is a very bitter pill to swallow, but I think it's important for everybody to hear this and understand this, because when you start growing older, man, you start understanding that nobody else is going to be responsible for me, right? Nobody else is going to take on this leadership position. Nobody else is going to, come in and save you. This is the whole game, is you're here to save yourself, right? And we're all just walking each other home, right? We're all on the pathway to enlightenment in some way, whether you say it or not. You're like, Johnny Walker will do it for me. That's my pathway to enlightenment. I get that, bro. Like, I honestly understand. Okay, Al cool. Body eating spirit. I get it. You've gotten yourself to such a place where you've lost contact with spirit. But let me tell you this. Now that you're stepping into a very new earth as a youngin, right? You're noticing the world change. You're noticing the world change around you. Everybody's trying to go viral and be on TikTok and trying to hyper exaggerate their personalities is what's cool. Let me try to copy this Twitch streamer, or let me try to step into this lane. Perhaps I fit in here, perhaps I fit in there. But you're not creating, you're still in the consumptive patterns of thinking of what it would be like to create. And so this is where the analysis paralysis thing is happening, when we don't give ourselves the opportunity to actually explore various areas of expression, of value, right? Value exchange doesn't have to look like a very particular way. Maybe our construct of our frame is limiting that suggestion, right? And so all this messages, all that's flowing through right now is this, okay? It's that I understand that you're struggling with how you want to appear, how you want to look, but this is why we recommend all of these different quizzes and things like this, right? Personality quizzes are another layer that you can look at your life through. Okay. People ask me all the time, like, do you do astrology stuff? Do you understand this? Okay. Listen, I'll use whatever works. How about that? Okay. Very chaos shaman of me, I understand, but whatever works. What is effective? What is bringing me the greatest outcomes that I actually prefer and desire? Not something that's imposed upon me. You see, as a rebel archetype, we want that complete independence and freedom. If we don't have that, it will start to cause many different constraints that you find yourself actually in the physical world, right? Because I've understood this growing up, right? It's like the James Dean rebel without a cause. If you don't have a cause, you're going to find yourself just looping, right? And that's what the darker energies want you to do. They just want you to loop. They just want you to loop. They don't want you to be spontaneous, make innovative things, right? Move the world in a positive direction. That's not their agenda, right? What is their agenda? I don't know. Transhumanism, weird, taking away the population, right? They have their own agendas. But let's not even talk about them, because we get what we focus on, right? So let's put our attention back to the gratitude of actually creating what this new earth looks like. And let's feel into that frequency as if it is already now. Let's welcome new earth as if it's already now and we're living it. Let's stop hyperextending new earth to this future concept one day in 2020, whatever. Okay? Let's stop hyperextending our enlightenment. Let's stop pushing it away so far into our next lives. Okay? This is the time now. Okay? You're watching this video because you feel a pull towards this somehow, right? What is this thing? This is exciting. And I think that invisible energy of excitement needs to be expressed in the most positive way possible. Otherwise, it is going to take on negative perceptions. Okay. So I'm going to end this video here, unless, we have any questions, but maybe just a couple more minutes. Okay. We'll just talk a little bit about this and then I'll end it. How to, pack, take a shower, so forth. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, to all of the young men listening right now, I want you to understand, man, use this time right now to build your character. What does that mean, bro? That's such a dad thing to say, right? My internet dad, Uncle Makara, told me. Let me tell you, okay? I used to think character development was a bunch of horseshit until I actually did it and stepped into it. It's a world that you don't know. It doesn't have a limit, my friends. There is no cap on your character development. And that makes it exciting for me because it's an infinite sum game. Okay. It's not win or lose, it's win, win, win. Win for me, win for you, win for the universe. Can you live like that? Can you actually understand that every time you take a positive step in action, that it's way off the Richter scale of your Likert scale of like where you think that it's meant to be? Okay. It's not even a measurement tool, man. When you do what you set out to do, when you're following your dharma, your soul path, your mission, everything else just coincides and just embellishes it, takes you into lucky streams of consciousness, and you just start to evolve through the process. But the moment you turn your back, second guess yourself, start doubting yourself, get angry at yourself, start getting bitter, you know, cutting people off for no reason and then regretting it later and then making up and then trying again. And this emotional irregularity is not creating a safe home for you. So again, I want you to really focus on calming your nervous system down. You have a vagus nerve, a powerhouse nerve that connects to all of the organs. And if you do some vagus nerve, you can just Google it, vagus nerve exercises, right? And you practice doing a few simple ones like this, maybe humming, gargling water, right? Just the letter R. I love doing this one. Just the letter R, right? You keep doing it, and after a while, you'll start to yawn, and then you can stack on the yawn, right? Like, right? You can start to create more spaciousness with the releases that you do, right? Because right now, you need to process your emotions, brother. I don't know who you are listening, but you need to understand that your emotions cannot be repressed like that. They cannot become this passive aggressive thing that you think about, in the background. It's going to come out and pop out in an unhealthy way. And you've seen it before. If you hold that energy down in the swimming pool, it's going to bounce up like a bouncy ball. So, what I want you to do is give yourself the space to do some EFT tapping to understand and clear these stuck emotions. Listen, if you feel stuck right now, it's very simple. Move, get moving, get in emotion, energy in motion, right? Just start moving your body in whatever way deems healing and positive and holy, right? Just do that because sacred movement, dance, thank you so much, brother. And all of these different things will actually help us to process what's going on in our internal worlds. Okay. So look at yourself as an experiment right now and double down on your character. Who is the character that I need to be so that I don't have to face these problems anymore? Problem A, problem B, problem C. Who do I need to be where I don't have problem A, problem B, problem C in my life anymore, any longer? What are the steps that I need to take? Then you go towards the actions and behaviors from the character already being set, right? So this was my process. I went into the world of theater. I was even, Jurwa 2 in the background as a dancer. I was, I tried to embellish myself in the world of acting until I understood what a dark industry it was also, So I kind of stepped back and now I want to use these theatrical tools in terms of like merging it with mystical tools, which creates a channeling tech that is extraordinary and out of this world, using the constructs of deity yoga and characterology from Reich and character yoga and charisma yoga and bring it all together and creating these advanced archetypes, these optimal human beings? Absolutely, right? Where do I sign up? Right? Make me out just like that. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the VH1 show, the pickup artist, right? With Mystery. It's incredible. If anybody hasn't watched that, go and watch that right now. Okay. Young men, I'm talking to you specifically. Go and watch Mysteries VH1, the pickup artist. See if you can find it on YouTube, something, right? You kids find it. Anything nowadays. I just say a word and someone pulls it up in like a millisecond on their phone, right? So there's this guy, he's like, make me over now. Like he's just this much older guy, right? 40 years old or something. And he's like, yeah, I don't want to look like this, you know? And it's just sad, brother, because it's like, dang, you know, like you really let yourself become that, huh? Right? You just let that woman crush your soul. You just let somebody, you know, like your boss upset you. You let that happen, bro. Right? And that hurts. As a man, you always want to keep your ego on lock, ego preserved. I have no chinks in the armor, right? It's a mentality. I am never a leaky bucket because I don't even have a bucket, right? I am the bucket beyond. All right. Look, you can bypass it all you want using your ego, but that's not going to help you with the character development and the identity transformation. The identity transformation where it comes when you get real with yourself and you're like, fuck, yeah, I don't like that part of me. Like, it's kind of messing me up. You know, it's taking me away from my divine truth and my freedom, my honor, and that I know there's a knowingness, there's a deep knowingness, there's a God's plan behind the scenes, right? That pulls you like the Tao. So when you stop trusting in that, and again, that can be manipulated too, right? This is what TV, movies, they try to do this to us. They try to move that stream of information of natural spontaneity and inspiration. And we think that it's our idea when really it's like something we watched a week ago. So we have to get really conscious about, you know, what these ideas are telling us, right? And free our minds from this dogma by understanding that we have control over our minds, actually. In fact, that's the only thing you probably can control. So you as a young man, okay, mind control. Thy own mind first, okay? Don't try to mind control others, okay? But as within, so without anyway, so it's going to match towards the reality that you set out in your brain, in your mind, okay? Mind and brain are two different things. Of course, the brain can die, the mind lives on. Okay, that's my perspective. That's my own understanding. Um, but yeah, awesome, bro. So if you want to step into this role of being the savage shaman, if maybe you're a little bit introverted, you're a little bit shy, you're like, I want all these cool things. I watch all these movies and fantasize about it, but I really want it. Do it. Lean in. Lean in and let it unfold the way that it should. Your guides will show up at the right times on the spiritual path. You don't need to rush anything because everything will unfold as it naturally should. And you're watching this right here, right now, as confirmation that you're going to double down on your most evolved self. Your GPS, your guru or God positioning system, your greatest possible self, your GPS. Once you reach that, once you understand that, once you get a taste of that, that higher self starts streaming in to your regular thoughts and visions. And you get such a blissfulness that it empowers you for the rest of your life. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and watching. Share this with a friend. Create incredible transformations. Okay, I want to see you do something incredible with this information I just gave you. And may we never be the same again. Us. Thank you for the safe travels, safe journey to all of you. Okay. And may you never be the same again.